But speaking of Alan Lazard, he is now going to have to fight for targets amongst a familiar face
Yeah.
here in New York.
Yeah, some big news coming out of New York today for both of these teams. But let's start with the Jets. So, at around what was it, like 7 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, it was early.
Yeah, it was early, dude. I just got started with work, and I look at my phone, and I see it happen.
Yeah.
Davante Adams is officially a New York Jet.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people saw this coming. Just because I mean, it's like, where else would Davante really go? Maybe the Saints, reunite with Carr, reunite with Carr.
Yeah.
But instead, he goes to New York and he reunites with his former quarterback in Green Bay. And I mean, we were talking about this a couple weeks ago. I think this is a fantastic move for them. I felt like they desperately needed another playmaker alongside Garrett Wilson.
Yeah.
Especially for the receiving.
Just a third-round pick.
Yeah, and for just a third-round pick, which I think could be like turned into a second.
Oh,
I think it's like a conditional third. But
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I think this is like the shot in the arm that the Jets needed, especially coming off a loss.
It just makes sense.
Yeah, it made too much sense to not do. So now,
but here's my thing: is it's like now you take on Davante Adams. Not only you give up the pick, but also you put him on your payroll. I don't really know what contract he's on right now, but it's got to be.
I think it's a very big contract.
Sizable.
Yeah.
It's win or go home at this point. You have Aaron Rodgers who's reaching 40. You have Davante who's getting up there, and is taking up. Both of these players taking up a majority of the cap space. So it's like, if you don't win or even make the playoffs this year, because now this team's 2-4. Which, if you told me that the Jets were 2-4 at the beginning of the season, like I wasn't super high on the Jets, but I at least thought they would be, just above 500.
Yeah.
But if you told me they were 2-4 at the beginning of the season, I would have thought that Aaron Rodgers got hurt again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, they're coming off 3 straight losses.
It's tough.
They felt like they really had to do something. Especially after firing their head coach. Kind of switching it up with the offensive play calling, and now you bring in.
The offense looked a little better.
I thought it looked good. I thought it looked a lot better. I don't know if that's. It's funny, they magically fire their head coach and it gets better. Their defensive head coach, but obviously they made the change at OC,
which was smart.
Yeah, which I mean it's a good idea.
It was funny. We thought Nathaniel Hackett was going to get promoted. He ended up getting demoted.
Yeah, which is the right move.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was glad for. Yeah, I thought both of these teams, they looked good, and I feel like they're both heading in the right direction. As far as for this season, especially when you talk about the Bills. Snapping that 2-game losing streak. And they decide to make a move of their own. They see the Jets go out and get a new wide receiver, and the Bills say, "Not so fast, my friend.
Yeah,
we've got a card up. They have a card up their sleeve. They acquire Amari Cooper from the Browns." Otto, how we feeling about this?
I like it because I had to catch myself. I was talking to somebody today about this trade, and at first my comment was Amari's washed, but then I took that comment back really quick, because the issue is Amari Cooper is not washed. I'm a big Amari Cooper fan.
Oh, we love Amari
Mr.
Cooper.
Reliable.
Yeah, we love Amari Cooper on this podcast.
The problem is not Amari Cooper is washed. The problem is that the person that's been throwing to him this season is the most dog shit quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
Not even top 50.
So
unironically.
Yeah. So it's kind of hard to be good when you have that throwing to you. So I like it. I think he's gonna have one of the most, if not, one of the best passers in the league. I like it. I think it's best for Amari Cooper right now, and it gives Josh Allen a reliable receiver. He's probably gonna still spread the ball out, a little bit here throughout this receiving core, but it gives him a reliable number one option.
Absolutely, I agree. I think you're still going to kind of see, that target share that you're seeing, where you're seeing a lot of guys kind of just get, close to the same amount of targets. But I feel like, with Amari Cooper, I feel like spreading the ball around will be so much easier now that you have kind of a real wide receiver one in that room. And that's no disrespect to guys like Khalil Shakir and Keon Coleman. But now that you have someone like Amari Cooper in there, who's, kind of been a wide receiver one, these last couple of years with the Browns and earlier in his career with the Raiders, and even a little bit with the Cowboys pre-CeeDee Lamb, you kind of you kind of bump everybody down in the depth chart, and it just everybody's automatically has a much better matchup.
Right.
So I think
Well,
this will take a lot of stress off of the Bills' offense.
a 2025 6th-round pick. So they got Amari Cooper and a 6th-round pick for a 3rd-round pick and a 7th-round pick. That's
Yes.
cake. That's a really good deal. Yeah, I really like it, and I was actually gonna say exactly what you just said. With because Khalil Shakir, I think he's really effective as a slot receiver.
Yes.
And when you put him, even if he's your wide receiver one, you throw him in the slot. You have Mac Hollins, you have Gabe Davis. That's not really going to draw a lot of attention. So now you got a true wide receiver one. So you can slide Shakir in the slot. He can be that sneaky receiver that he was before with Stephon Diggs. Did I say Gabe Davis?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I meant
Keon.
no, I think I meant Curtis Samuel, but he's kind of a slot receiver too.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I know Keon Coleman. I know like his stature and all. You would suggest he's a wideout. He does play actually very well in the slot. So, it's like finally you have a guy that can actually play outside. You're not stuck with 3 guys that are mainly slot guys. So they can kind of move that around a little bit more and have Amari Cooper still.
It opens it up for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can get a lot more creative. I feel getting Amari Cooper. Like I don't want to dig on the Jets getting Adams. Like I don't want to downplay that, but honestly, I'm kind of more excited about the Bills getting Amari Cooper.
I think the fit in terms of like the Jets getting Davante Adams
it's huge, right? Like
it's huge.
It's a big deal.
Storyline wise, it's awesome because he's reunited with Aaron Rodgers and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of actual fit, Amari Cooper makes way more sense on the Bills.
Yeah, I feel like with Amari Cooper, it's like finally you kind of get you get a guy, after trading Stephon Diggs in the offseason, and now rather with the Jets, it's like, okay, who's getting the ball?
And not only that, but it's like you have 4 wideouts. I mean, because unless you throw Alan Lazard as your slot receiver, you don't really have a slot. You have Davante Adams, who's a wideout. You have Garrett Wilson, who's a true wide receiver one wideout. You have Alan Lazard, who I guess you could throw in the slot, but then like Mike Williams, deep threat wideout. Like it just, I don't know. The fit is kind of weird, but I mean, Aaron Rodgers would probably find a way to make it work.
Yeah, they'll figure it out with those guys. And I also want to point out, I think I saw with them getting Adams, I think they might be looking at shopping Mike Williams.
That would make sense.
That'd be interesting.
Because you kind of have 3, in my opinion, 3 of the same receiver.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like Mike Williams, like with Adams, I feel like he really doesn't have a spot on this team.
He doesn't have a role.
Yeah.
And from judging from this box score, he didn't really have a role anyways.
Yeah, like his main play was slipping up, and then Rodgers throwing that game, basically the deciding interception at the end of the game. So
to Taron Johnson.
Yeah, not a great Monday night for him. But I heard the Chargers are in need of a receiver right now, so there you go.
Just right back where you came from. Buddy.
Honestly, wouldn't mind it.
No, it'd be a good fit.
Like that's kind of like the first thing that came to my mind. Obviously, since he played there, but
Ladd's been good, man. Ladd's been good.
Ladd's been good. I like some Ladd, and like Quentin Johnston's kind of showing a little bit of flashes here and there. But I mean, just get Mike Williams back. Just kind of pretend he never left.